Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Wynn Faun, and I'm here with Sandra Garcia today to tell the world all about the new heavyweight champion.
Hi, Wynn. Thanks for having me. Thanks for sitting down for this.
Thanks for joining me this afternoon, Xander. It's greatly appreciated. Now, the world's been wondering what's been going on with you lately.
Oh, well, a lot of juggling. I mean, with everything going on in the world, I've been trying to deal with the family and then dealing with a bunch of nonsense in the ring, but hey, that's an everyday thing. That's an everyday thing for me. So, yeah, that's the best way to describe it. Just a whole lot of nonsense and trying to make sense of the nonsense.
That I get that completely. Um, so who has been your most challenging competitor to date?
To date, oh, that is a big question, and I am totally going to cheapskate and cop out this one myself.
That
However, that's go ahead.
is not considered a cop out, dear. I'd actually say that's a great answer.
Okay, but I do not mean it in the egotistical sense like I'm the only one who can beat myself. I'm the greatest ever. No, it's fighting myself, and it's caused a lot of rips along the way. It's caused a lot of distance with a lot of different people whom at one point I thought was close. However, I come to find out, me working on commentary, me working backstage, me trying to help people out to make them the best them, to sell them, to put them over, to make them shine. I'm everybody's friend. But then when I step in the ring and say, it's my time, suddenly I find myself kind of alone without friends. And hide behind whatever we like, but that's what I'm trying to focus on is fighting myself for that to still try to support people, try to promote people while doing that for myself, and that's a hard juggle. Oh, that is such a tough juggle.
It really is, Xander. And on another aspect, this might help people understand a little better. You do deal with mental illness, don't you?
Yes, I have OCD and OCPD, so it is a lot of times difficult for me to work with changes versus seeing something through. Whether it's a quarter of the way through, halfway through, somebody's like, "Oh my god, I just got this super cool awesome idea. That's the greatest thing since sliced bread and god. We got to do this right now." And then I'm just like, "You got to finish what you already did before you get to the next thing." And maybe that's it. Maybe we live in a world that it used to be those vines and those little 10-second things. Now it's like a TikTok world, and everything is instant gratification and immediate response. We got 2 day shipping on just anything in the world. You want shoelaces or a kidney, Amazon, 2 days. So as far as I go, I love that slow burn. I love the long game. Trying to work towards something, telling a story fully in all of its entire parts. Instead of just turning on my whatever cell phone's video camera and just going and boom, that's it. Suddenly, that's all people are looking for. And I'm
Makes sense.
yeah.
So, with everything, I understand you say that your biggest opponent was yourself.
hmm
Would you say that your own mental illness has been the biggest obstacle you have faced in Second Life Wrestling?
Yes, yes, because there's a lot of times to where I am both understood and misunderstood all at the same time. Because for the simple fact of I stand for something. In fact, there are a few things that I stand for. However, there is that saying, stand for something or fall for anything. No, for me, the way I see it and the way I word it as, since I do stand for certain things, that means I will not stand for other things. And I will be the first to, snip out there, hey, that is wrong. Hey, you do not do that. Do not for any reason. And, even too recently, I voiced it. I stood and like, that is wrong. What happened? That is wrong. What had been done. and I did get, my emotions did get the better of me, because it should have just only been directed towards a singular instead of, a collective. I don't want to say a collective, but regardless, I'm the first that'll just say, that's the dumbest thing I have ever heard, especially when I hear people say, well, I'm better than this person for this reason, and I'm better than this person for this reason. And yet, I'm still the guy looking in the eyes of bookers and owners and all these people going, I don't feel that I'm better than anybody else. That this is the world I live in. This is 2021, for Christ's sake. We're still trying to go around going, well, I'm better than them. I just don't need to tell them. No, no. Like, I can be better than an individual in a certain moment, but the next moment, the next breath, it's something totally different. It's a whole different game. It's a whole different story altogether. Yeah, so that's where things come into play, because I studied the old ways. Like I said, long story short, I was 10 years old, raked some leaves, got a box of VHS tapes. Inside was Stu Hart versus Vern Gagne, and I'm in love with wrestling ever since. However, in that, I try to take on a new way and a new approach, new ways of thinking. Like, that's what this X stands for, to X out all of the toxicity, all of the bad things that are happening out there. So that's a very long answer, but the fact that I stand for things means I will not stand for other things. And I believe that has caused many rifts and distance from other people, along with me taking care of my family and trying to take care of myself. And yeah, it becomes a juggle.
Does over a lifetime. So, with everything in mind, what do your goals look like in the ring and in SL wrestling for your future?
Oh, I like to say it's wide open, but yeah, I just had to admit to, well, not had to. I like to inform people of my OCD, my OCPD. For the future, I'm just planning. I am planning, planning, planning. Like, I'm already 20 years in the future with my plans. Now I just kind of ease and let them happen naturally. Let everything fall into place naturally, because I myself, I love algorithms and all that, but more so what I love is going to these toxic and entitled, sheltered people, getting right up in their face and saying, "You're an idiot." Like, that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to finding me some idiots. My goodness, there are so many out there. But at the same token, with the SL wrestling community, it is such a challenge, because the entire community is just so sharp and smart. I mean, so full of quick thinkers
Yep.
that they challenge me, whether they believe it or not. Well, we may not even be in the same Fed. We're not even in the same class, so to speak. I'm a heavyweight, obviously. So, and also, we're in different divisions, because mama raised me, not to hit a woman, but I will wrestle a female. I've proved that in the past, because I fully and truly feel that there is equality there. Because, like the saying says, flat on the mat, everybody's the same size.
I'd agree with that for certain. So, Xander, is there anything you actually regret for your history in Second Life Wrestling?
Yeah, being trapped inside my own head. You know, I got a massive smack in the face some few years ago, when I thought, going around to all these other companies doing commentary and making these other people shine, or being mean to them just because they piss me off. I'm still a human being. I own up to that. But doing all this work, trying to help out all these people, I thought it would have got me a little bit of my foot in the doorway. So when I did dig in and start paying my dues, I could just go out there and pay my dues, whether it be sharpen my teeth, and if I can use that phrase. So, and that's when I thought to do that. But yeah, too many people just looked me in the eye and said, "You're not commentary, you're not backstage." I'm like, "No, I am a pro wrestler." Oh, and then they shut the door in my face. So that was a harsh reality I did to that, and I regret having that mentality because I never felt entitled to anything other than a shot, other than just book me, put me out there, let me do the rest. And then I regret being confusing, which I hope none of these answers are too confusing. I put a lot of faith in the audience, but I was unable to deliver that. There's quite a few others. I have been labeled a quote unquote fed hopper. And yes, because I did run the indie circuit and I have wrestled in a lot of other places. So, I'm up to that. But now that I've been here for a while, I'm settled, I'm calm, and I'm just looking to do this more and more and more. I just need more of this. There's never enough wrestling for me.
Makes sense. I mean, when you love something, you want as much of it as you can get, really. And I get that. So, in light of that, what would you say to anyone that has doubts out there or issues with you in the past at this point now?
Well, I mean, with the way the world is changing every day and everything's getting crazy, I just say, hey, if you see me, say hi and let's work it out. If there is any rips, if there is any, distance, tensions, anything like that, hey, I've been solid for almost a year now and pushing towards the other one. I'm not stopping, I'm not slowing down. I just try to give people their space. If you don't want to clear the air, you don't want to clear the air. You're going to think how you're going to think, you're going to feel how you're going to feel. And I'm definitely not going to be the one to tell anybody how to feel or how to think, or that their feelings are wrong or that their thinking is wrong. I can't do that. All I could do is sit back, be myself, and just remind everybody I'm still that same guy that's on commentary. And if your only problem with me now is that I'm no longer in commentary, I'm getting in that ring and I'm going to face you eye to eye, man to man, or woman to woman, but I'm a man, so I say male. Um, so human being to human being. And if that's not something you're looking forward to, if that's not something you want to do, okay. Again, I'm also a human being. Let's sit down. Let's talk it out. Let's work it out. Because I've noticed a lot of people had like a lot of good things to say about me at one point, and then suddenly they're pretending to be indifferent about me, like it's nothing. I'm still that same guy. I'm still that same guy. That good, bad, and otherwise something was said. Still me now, and a lot more stable. There's lots of more stability, but the O in the OCD and the OCPD is completely connected to SO wrestling. So yes, it is my obsession, it is my love, it is my passion.
Right. And, so what changes are you making to ensure things stay the way they have been for this last year?
Oh, it's just opening my perspective. Like, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to fight my ass off for every inch I get. And while I'm seeing a lot of other people doing their little political bullshit in the backstage and kissing this person's ass and massaging this person's shoulders, this is no. No, no, no. I've done my time getting to know managements and bookings and promoters and all of that stuff. Right now, I'm just going to focus on the wrestling aspect of it. Whether I'm on the desk, whether I'm in the ring, I am the sum of all of my experience. I am the sum of all of my parts combined. I've been here for a decade. And in that, I am going to let that show out there.
I think that's a good thing. So what would you say to any newcomer comers to the federations?
Oh, get a thick skin, kiddo. Get a super thick skin because you are going to need it. Oh, you are going to need it so much. There's just a wading pool of like lion sharks. They're lion sharks. All right, a whole new species. Let's call up National Geographic. They can have some Arthur Conan Doyle person narrating, watching the wild lion sharks and the things. But yeah, they'll either eat you up and spit you out or embrace you as one of their own. It's all up to you. But thick skin and for the love of heaven, all newcomers, this is not a sprint. This is not a rush. I get it. You played your cute little video games with your little friends in the basement with the Cheetos and the Kool-Aid and all that good nonsense, but that's not here. That's not here. You ain't going to put in no damn cheat code and win no goddamn title in 2 weeks. So let go of that real quick, fast, and in a hurry. Come to this because you love it. Do it because you love it. If you don't love it, if you're just walking around talking about how you're just going to get a title or you're going to be the next champion and no, it's not going to work out for you. We are going to eat you up and spit you out back into a cold ass world you didn't even realize was there. So do it for the love, put your passion into it, and look at the bigger picture because this is a long game.
So, what are your hopes for the future of SL Wrestling, Xander?
My hopes for the future is that people start focusing on bettering either themselves or each other. And I'm not saying no kumbaya bullshit. I'm talking about some true competition. Let's push each other. Let's get out there. Cool. Some one random schmuck wins one random match. Good for you. But it's like, what the fuck have you done? Is your name coming out of other people's mouths, good, bad, or otherwise? That's what we need to focus on. Or that's what I feel we need to focus on. Let me rephrase. But the future, if we could just push each other to be better instead of trying to manipulate to put each other down, that would be awesome. That would be great
I would have to
because
agree.
and in that, everybody, wherever you are, that's where you're at. So whatever fed you're in, whatever fed you're working for, that's where you're at. Because at the end of the day, the bookers, managements, all that stuff, they're working hard. All right, people, they're busting their asses. So instead of us trying to whisper in their ear and try to twist some shit around, maybe we should work on bettering ourselves to make it easier on them so everything levels out. Because I have nothing but love and respect for bookers, promoters, management, anybody at 2 a.m. trying to piece some stuff together for a bunch of people going, hey, I'm actually great and she has chlamydia. I'm actually great, and he steals paychecks from elderly people. So you should look at me. Let's stop that. Let's stop that bullshit immediately. And why not go to the other people and just say, hey, you're in the top spot. You're working for the top spot. Well, I'm standing right next to you, and I'm working for it as well. However, you don't need to be catty and save all the drama for the stage. Because when I go and see shows, I want to see that drama. I want to see so and so pissed off at so and trying to punch them in the throat, like the little soft spot between the clavicle and the chin. Yeah, I want to see them punch it because they're working their shit out there instead of back talking behind the scenes and bumping the gums and all that bullshit of, hey, so I heard a rumor. Good. Good for you. I hear rumors all the time. Some about me, some about other people. It's just bullshit. Instead of trying to talk it out backstage and trying to get your spot backstage, why don't you earn your fucking spot on stage? I'll be there. Let's see if you can do it.
And just remember that if anybody wants to come to you as well and wants a mediator in between, even, I am more than willing to step up for that, just so you know. But out of everything, Xander, literally everything that you've learned over the past 13 or so years in Second Life Wrestling, What is the one thing you really want the SL wrestling community to know or hear about right now?
I found my groove. I found my lane, if you will. Gotta stay in your lane. I found my lane, and I'm trucking along with it. I'm a big dude who loves mat wrestling, which doesn't always translate to the most epic high flying spot monkey and shit. Wish it did. It doesn't. So in that, yeah, I found my lane, and I'm definitely going to start taking. I'm going to start taking more of the shackles off. I'm going to start taking more of the constraints off. Or in my case, I'm gonna start letting the muzzle off a little more. So, yeah, I've got
Keep things
some.
interesting, I think.
Yes, I've got some things to say to people if they want to, make it public. It's all going to be in good fun, and just know that I still do truly and genuinely love all of you, regardless of how you feel about me. Like that's fine.
So,
You're going to feel how you're going to feel. Go ahead.
sorry. So I have one last question for you tonight, Xander.
Okay.
What is this X verse, and what should your fans know about it?
Oh well, the X verse is where a lot of people can come and stand for the things that I stand for. I'm against toxicity. You know, a lot of people out there got to learn that they are not entitled to anything just because they see it in their own heads. That we stand up, we speak for those people who may not even know they're being talked about. But more importantly, is we just stand. We just stand together for something more than just some quick applause or like five people we know that are in our family or whatever patting us on the back. Let's stand together. Let's have some fun. But the most important thing is let's make some fucking sense of all this. Because right now, a lot of shit is just feeling fleeting. It's like we're throwing a bunch of stuff out there for accolades and attention, but it can mean a hell of a lot more. It can. So the X verse stands for what I said 10 years ago, what I said 5 years ago is the same shit I'm saying right now and on towards the future. It's consistency, it's stability, and quite frankly, it's shutting the people up who are trying to screw us over behind our backs and face our problems together.
Well, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon, Xander. It has been a pleasure, and I do wish you luck with your title and anything else that may be on the line down the road.
All right. And thank you, Wynn. I truly do appreciate you, and I appreciate everybody else for listening to this.